Evidence of evolution.
Fossils and homologous and analogous structures.
Scientists use many different ways to provide evidence for evolution.
The evidence we will be focusing on are fossils and homologous and analogous structures.
So what are fossils? Well, fossils are purified remains of an organism in the form of a mold or rock.
Fossils not only provide evidence for evolution, but they also provide the information about how a certain organism has evolved over time.
Paleontologists or scientists who study fossils have recovered some of the oldest fossils that show us how an organism has evolved from its beginning to now.
Because of fossils, we are able to understand how long life has existed on Earth and how different organisms relate to one another.
The study of fossils leads us to the other subject of comparative anatomy. Comparative anatomy is a study of the similarities and differences in the structures of different organisms.
Comparative anatomy is like fossils, another form of evidence for evolution.
There are two main parts of comparative anatomy, them being homologous and analogous structures.
Homologous structures are the similar structures or the anatomy in an organism, but dissimilar in their functions.
An example would be the similarity in the hand structures of humans, cats, and whales.
All four of these mammals have same basic structure in their forelimbs and same bone patterns, but their functions are all the same.
The belief of these similar patterns suggests that these organisms all have a common ancestor.
Analogous structures and other studies of comparative anatomy are structures that are related in unrelated organisms.
The idea of having a common ancestor is negated because it is believed that the structures are similar only because they are evolved to do the same job.
This may be the case when animals belonging in different groups live in the same habitat, therefore both animals live in a similar form of life.
An example would be a similarity between the wings of bats and birds. They have the same function, but their bone pattern is totally different from one another.
All in all, structures that look similar from the exterior but are different anatomically and have the same function are analogous structures.
All fossils, homologous, and analogous structures come back to the same idea of evidence for evolution.
Whether you tend to believe it or not, evolution has occurred and is probably still occurring, and we still use the evidence of fossils and comparative anatomy to clarify.